So I'll start out, I have an ace, I'll take the ace and put it on the bottom of the deck. Next card up is another ace. So I'll take my top card, which is an ace, and the bottom card, which is an ace, put it over here. Now ideally you would have a person holding on to these cards like this, so that later on you can have them switch it out, but I'll get to that in a minute. So now they're holding the aces and I have the other two cards that were in the deck, and I want to switch them out, so I'll do this, and that'll show that they have twos and I have the aces over here.
I'm gonna change this card from red to black.
Did it work?
No.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Magic Garage. It's Nick here, and today I'm going to be teaching you an illusion called Spike. Now guys, if you haven't heard of Spike, it's a really cool and actually quite dangerous effect that can be performed close up and on the stage. Now I'm not going to go into detail about the trick, but a few things that I do want to tell you is that you are going to need 4 regular everyday styrofoam cups. Now these can be borrowed if you wish, and you are also going to need a 2.5 inch iron nail or steel nail, really just any nail. You don't really want it to be any bigger than 2.5 inches though, because 2.5 inches is the perfect size. And then you're going to want to place that on like a platform. In my case, all I did was simply take a piece of wood and hit the nail through one side of the wood until it came through the other end. Now, if I am performing this in the public or something, I'll usually use a piece of wood that's actually sanded down and actually varnished, and it looks really nice, and it's just better presentation for your trick. Now, I'm not going to be doing a performance of the Spike today because I actually need another participant from like the audience that can actually move the cups around while my back is turned, because that's how the trick works. And usually I would perform the trick to the camera, but I can't do that with this one. I don't have anyone else around at the moment to help me, so instead I'm going to leave a couple of links below the video in the video description that will be performances of Spike. So now we're going to go straight into the tutorial. Oh, and one more thing guys, just really be careful with this. You know, you've really got to practice the trick until you're super confident with it, so you can almost do it with your eyes closed, because if you do mess it up guys, like you can with any illusion, you might actually end up with a nail through your hand, and nobody wants that, because apart from the fact that it's going to bloody hurt, you can end up with a hole through your hand. So yeah, anyway, that's just a tip to perform Spike. Really perform it until you're very confident with it. So now let's get straight into the tutorial guys, and I'll show you how this trick is actually performed. Hi guys, welcome to the tutorial for Spike. Now guys, Spike is actually, as hard as it looks, a really easy effect to perform. And it's also great because you can use borrowed items. Usually no one's going to have a nail line around, so you need that, but you can use borrowed cups. Now the way Spike works guys is actually by memorizing the serial number on the cup that the nail is put under. Now no two styrofoam cups will have the same serial number. Every serial number on every styrofoam cup will indeed be unique. And that's what makes this trick so easy to perform. And you'll be surprised at the fact that no one actually realizes, because I mean, the serial numbers are quite easy to see guys. You'll be surprised at the fact that no one actually realizes the serial numbers. It's because they're too concentrated on what's under the cup, the nail under the cup, and you know, your hands, so they're not actually looking at the cups to see if there's anything funny with them, which gives you a lot of cover and a lot of protection. Now, let me start off by showing you guys what you're going to do. You're going to start off with the 4 cups, have them inspected if you like. I suggest you don't, because someone might see the serial number. Have one or two members of the audience. I actually like to use 2 members, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Have a member come up to a member of the audience, come up, and make sure that when you're starting, you know, the introduction to this effect, don't actually show everyone the nail, because no one's really going to volunteer if you tell everyone that you're going to use a nail, because they might, you know, think that you're going to use their hand or something. So hide the nail under one of the cups. Have a member of the audience come up, and then have them select a cup. First of all, take out the nail, obviously. and now because they're actually already volunteering, they can't really walk off, So take the nail out, have them select a cup, turn that cup over, and then now you're going to start pattering on about how you're going to play a game of Russian roulette. And you're going to say you're going to make it a little bit more dangerous and use a nail. And then if you are using two members of the audience, like I usually do, you can give the nail to the other member and then have them inspect that, because it is a real nail. There's nothing fake about it. It's a real nail from the garage. Also, guys, you might want to have a tetanus shot before you do this effect in case you do mess it up. You might want to have them inspect the nail, and if they do, that's cool. Now take that nail, place the selected cup over the nail, and while you're actually placing the cup over it, you're going to memorize this serial number here. And in this case, on this cup, it's actually 145. So I'm actually going to memorize that number. I'm then going to take the other 4 cups. You're going to take the other 3 cups, and place them in next to the cup, the selected cup. Now, at the moment, you still know which cup has a nail under, obviously, because you've just memorized it. And so does everyone else. And you're going to say, now, generally, if we were going to play Russian roulette, I would be the person that would mix the cups around. That's not really going to work here, because if I mix the cups around, I can still tell which cup has the nail under it, and you're just going to lift the cup that has the nail under it. And you say, so let's make it a bit harder. Now, here's what's going to happen, guys. You're actually going to turn around, okay? You're going to turn your back to the audience, and you're going to say to the spectator, I don't want you to do anything tricky. I simply want you to take the cups and put them in any order you like, making sure you double check which cup has the nail under it. So they'd mix the cups around in any order they like, and you would apparently have no idea which cup has the nail under it, Once they mix the cups around, simply turn back around, guys. And now what you're going to act as if you're doing, you're going to act as if you're trying to kind of read the cups. And a really good convincer that you don't know which cup the nail is under is actually to spot the cup that has the nail under it. So in this case it would be this one, because it's 145. And then simply look away from the cups and look at your participants while you're actually so-called reading the cups. And what I like to do is place my hand flat just over one of the cups, kind of rub, then hover over the next one, rub again, hover over the next one. And then when I get to the cup that has a nail under it, I'll hover over it for a little bit longer, but not too much. Then go to the next one, and then kind of come back to that and kind of go to the next one, but then actually say, and that's when, as if you're getting a stronger and stronger feeling every time you hover over that cup. Everyone knows the nail's under there, so they're probably going to be freaking out. Now, you might want to tell everyone to keep a straight face, because you don't want them to give you any clues. Hold your hand and say, yep, I know which cup doesn't have the nail under it. Hold your hand over the cup with the nail, and then lift your hand up and then slam down on the cup either side of it. So you don't actually hit the cup with the nail under. I know which cup doesn't have the nail under it. Smack. And hit one of the other cups on the side of it. Or if it's on the left-hand side, hit the cup next to it, and so on and so forth. Smash that first cup, and now you can turn it over and you say, see, there's no nail. Place that to the side, or even give this, chuck that out to the audience if you want. Everyone loves souvenirs. You now have 3 cups left. You're going to do exactly the same thing here. All you're going to do is turn around, have either one of your participants or your participant mix the cups around in any order he or she likes. And now you're going to turn around, and as if you have no idea which cup has a nail under. Obviously, all you have to do is look for the serial number that you memorised on the cup, which in this case was 145. Did you remember? So it means it's right here. Now you're going to once again act as if you have no idea, spot which cup has a nail under it, and then try and look away, because if you're looking at the cups for too long, everyone's going to automatically think that you're actually looking for something on the cups, which in reality you actually are. So you don't want them to think that. You kind of just want to quickly spot as quick as you can which cup has the nail under it. Make sure you're certain about it. If you're not, simply just kind of glance at them again, and then you go, and then once you're certain about it, look away, look at the audience, look at your participant. Now you can hover 2 hands if you like, maybe even have someone else hover their hand over, and then hold on to their hand, and you're going to say, I know which cup doesn't have the nail under it. Hover once again over the cup with the nail under it. Then simply it's not this one. Smack down on that cup. I'm not doing it very hard here, guys, because I've got another camera angle on the table, so the camera will be a bit shaky. But slam down on that cup that doesn't have the nail under it, put it to the side, and once again chuck it out to the audience. Now you're left with 2 cups. And now you can tell everyone that each time you take a cup away, your chances of hitting that nail actually go down. And now you actually only have a 50% chance of hitting that nail, so it's nowhere near as big as it was at the start. What you're going to do here, guys, is there's 2 ways you can end this trick. There's a way that is really quite dangerous, which I don't suggest you do, but I'm going to show you anyway. You can actually use your head to get rid of the last cup. And the way this works, you're going to ramble on about, how the chance of you hitting the nail are actually less now, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then you're going to say that you're going to make it more dangerous because it's not dangerous enough now. You're going to turn your back around, have the audience move the cups to a selected part of the floor, which will be selected by you, have them mix the cups around, and now you can simply bash the last cup with your forehead. And now that's an alternative way you can end Spike. But once again, guys, that is very, very dangerous, because if you do mess it up, you could end up with this through your forehead, and that is actually quite life-threatening, quite a life-threatening injury. Having a nail through your hand isn't, okay? So I don't suggest you do that, but that's just an alternative way to end it. Obviously, the other way you could end it would just be to simply wave your hand over. Obviously, turn around, have the spectators mix the cups, wave your hands over, same presentation as the last 2 times. Simply hover over the cup that has a nail under it, and then smack down on the cup that doesn't, and say, I knew that these 3 cups didn't have the nail under it, but I know, and so do you obviously now, that the last cup, under the last cup, remains your 2.5-inch nail. This, guys, the trick by itself, guys, Spike, really isn't that entertaining. All you're doing is smashing cups. It's really the presentation that matters here. So you need to be able to present this trick and perform it very, very well to get a good reaction. And if you can perform it well, then you are going to get an amazing reaction. It's a nerve-wracking trick. People love it. I love it. You're going to love it. I guarantee you, Spike really is an effect that hits hard. And it's also quite easy to perform. And as dangerous as it is, if you practice it enough, you should be able to perform it with very little risk. That, guys, is Spike. I hope you liked it. It's cool that I've got 2 cameras now, so from now I'm going to be shooting with 2 camera angles, and I'll see you all later. Peace.